All right, let's talk about Miracle Morning Millionaires. This book is built on one really powerful idea, that the way you start your day, well, that's the way you build your wealth. So how exactly does that work? Let's get into it. Okay, let's kick things off with this quote from Stephen Pressfield, because it really nails the core idea here. You know that feeling, that sense that there's this other version of you, this untapped potential, an unlived life just kind of sitting there, waiting? So what's the deal? What really separates the life we're living from that unlived one? Well, according to the book, it's not about fate, and it's definitely not about luck. It all comes down to a choice.
And this brings us to our first big concept, which the book calls the 2 doors of life. See, it frames this whole thing as a decision you make every single day, a choice between actively pursuing something or, well, just wishing for it.
And this is where it gets really interesting. See, most of us, we hang out on the left side of this equation. We're dreaming, we're wishing, we're hoping for the best. But millionaires, they make a fundamentally different decision. They don't just want it, they choose it. And that choice isn't just some vague feeling. No, it's a concrete plan. It's consistent action. It's a real, boots-on-the-ground commitment.
So what does choosing wealth actually mean in practice? Well, it breaks down into these 4 big commitments. First, you've got to shift your focus from just earning a big salary to actually accumulating assets, owning things that grow in value. Second, you start making all your decisions through the lens of creating wealth. Third, you learn how to leverage your resources to multiply your efforts, not just add to them. And maybe the biggest one of all, you commit to becoming a different person, because new results demand new ways of thinking and acting.
Okay, that all sounds great in theory, right? But how in the world do you stick with it when life just happens? This is where the book introduces a surprising connection. The secret isn't just what you choose, but when you choose it. It's all about the morning.
And this is where things get completely flipped on their head. You know how we usually think, okay, once I get my life together, then I'll become a morning person. The book says, no, you've got it backward. The morning isn't the prize you get when your life is fixed. It's the tool you use to fix it, one day at a time.
To make this super practical, there's this 5-step snooze-proof strategy. The whole point is to make getting up easier than staying in bed. So, step 1, you set your intentions the night before. You wake up knowing why you're getting up. Step 2, move your alarm clock across the room. Simple, but it forces you to physically get up. 3, brush your teeth right away. 4, drink a full glass of water. These 2 things literally wake up your body and brain. And 5, get dressed in workout clothes. You're pre-committing to your first win of the day.
All right, you've done it. You beat this snooze button. You're up. Now what? What do you actually do with this time? Well, this brings us to the core of the whole system, the daily toolkit called the SAVERS.
The Lifesavers. It's an acronym for 6 really powerful, time-tested practices. I mean, think of these as the fundamental habits that the world's most successful people use, day in and day out, to put themselves in a peak state to win the day.
So each letter stands for a different practice. S is for silence, meditation, prayer, just quiet reflection to calm the noise. A is for affirmations to program your mindset. V is for visualization, where you see your success before it happens. E is for exercise, even just for a few minutes to get the blood flowing. R is for reading, learning from the best. And S is for scribing or journaling to get clarity. It's like a full system reboot for your mind, body, and spirit every single morning. Now hold on, because the book makes a really important point about affirmations. You know the old way? Just standing in the mirror saying, I am a millionaire, when you're not? It argues that doesn't work. It feels like you're lying to yourself, and your brain just rejects it. It's passive, wishful thinking, and it doesn't lead to action.
Instead, it offers a 4-step formula that actually works. First, you state what you're truly committed to, and crucially, why it matters to you. Second, you get super specific about the actions you'll take and when you'll take them. Third, you've got to say them with real emotion, feel it. And fourth, you update them. As you grow, your affirmation should grow with you. This turns them from a wish list into an actual action plan.
And this quote just sums up that entire mindset shift perfectly. Where I am is a result of who I was, but where I go depends entirely on who I choose to be starting today. It's about taking complete ownership. The past is done. Your future starts with the choice you make right now.
So when you start doing these savers every day, something bigger starts to happen. You're not just changing your morning routine. You're actually building the foundation to think in a completely different way. You start to think like a millionaire.
Here's a huge piece of that puzzle: leverage. See, most people think by adding. If I work 1 more hour, I get 1 more hour's pay. It's linear.
But the wealthy think by multiplying. They ask, how can I use my time, my money, or my team to get an exponential return? They're not just adding to their pile, they're multiplying it.
And to even start thinking that way, you have to expand what the book calls your box. Think of it like a hermit crab. That little crab can only grow as big as its shell allows. Once it gets too big, it has to consciously leave that shell and find a bigger one. Your mindset, your beliefs, your habits, that's your shell. To grow your life and your wealth, you have to have the courage to find a bigger box.
Having a bigger mindset also means being smart about when to push through and when to quit. And this little grid here makes it so clear. Look, if something is working and you enjoy it, that's easy. Double down, show some grit. But what if it's not working? Well, if you still enjoy the process, don't quit. Just change your strategy. The only time quitting is the right move is in that one box, when it's not working and you don't enjoy it.
So, what's the big takeaway here? Where does all this lead? All these habits, these mindset shifts, they all point to one final, incredibly powerful idea about where you should make your first and best investment.
Just think about this for a second. We all come from different backgrounds. We have different advantages, different levels of luck. But the one resource that is given to every single one of us equally, every single day, with no exceptions, is a new morning. It is the ultimate equalizer.
And what this really tells us is that the journey to building wealth is, at its core, a journey of personal growth. You have to become the person who is capable of creating and managing that wealth, which means the best investment you can ever make is you. The Miracle Morning just gives you the dedicated time and the proven process to make that investment in yourself day after day.
So, we end right back where we started, with a choice. Tomorrow morning, you're going to wake up and you'll be standing in front of two doors. Behind one is the life you're currently living, and behind the other, that unlived life that's waiting inside you. So the only real question is, which door are you going to choose?